First round, I had Taylor winning it. Better jab, better movement. Jose normally takes a little time to warm up. Textbook boxing from Taylor, circling Ramirez, not unnecessarily getting trapped up in no toe-to-toe battles or clinches. Ramirez a little too square, a little too wide-legged. Needs to step it up a little. Don't underestimate Taylor's left hook to the stomach. It's a good punch. Taylor got the better of the first half of the round. Ramirez started to use his jab, picked it up and put some good attacks in, and that was a hard round to score. Third round, Ramirez started well. Taylor came back in the middle part of the round and Ramirez finished really strong. Taylor threw a throwaway jab, left himself a little off balance, and Ramirez came in there, throwing that left hook and getting off. Excellent round for Ramirez. That fourth round was quite important because it looked like Ramirez was going to run over Josh Taylor. It looked like he was. And we've seen how the Brits have fared recently against the Mexicans. But in the fourth round, it was the left hook to the body from Taylor, not from the Mexican, that turned the tide in favor of the Edinburgh man. Looks like they both landed simultaneously. Ramirez to the head and Taylor to the body. And Taylor came back again with a second hook right between the stomach and chest. Great shot. Doubled Ramirez over. Sometimes you have to fight fire with fire. You have to fight their fight. If you want to beat them, the Mexicans, sometimes you have to fight their fight. Taylor did it in spurts. He used his legs, but even in doing that, he was getting outworked and hit with some hard shots and losing rounds. The rounds were grim, and Josh Taylor showed a good chin, taking some very hard shots in the fifth, coming back himself, but I'd have to probably give that to Ramirez, that round there. Bringing the attrition like Ramirez was, committing to attack like that, he was bound to leave himself open, and that left hook what floored him was beautifully timed by Taylor in the sixth. Taylor, I've seen him take shots from Prograis. O'Hara Davis as well, he can hit hard. And a few other guys who can hit pretty hard, and he took Ramirez's best shots. And Ramirez needed the knockdowns, but he hit Taylor hard, and Taylor felt them, but he didn't go down. Takes a good shot. Ramirez couldn't keep up that phenomenal pace, and in the seventh, Josh Taylor, rather than go after him when he saw Ramirez slowing up a little, he got a little breather himself and pot-shotted and boxed very nice behind that right hand and that straight left. And Josh being a big southpaw, that also helped him because Ramirez, not defensively the best, so just that left hook and that left hand coming from that angle enabled Josh Taylor to box when he wanted to box when the tempo slowed down. But Ramirez, he's been tagged hard and he's put a lot of effort into the first half of the fight. So he needs to take a break. But the slower tempo and trying to pit wits with Taylor to see who can pot shot the best. He's always coming second and Taylor hit him with a left uppercut. Great shot. The left uppercut should have finished the fight really. And Ramirez, he got up way too quickly, but the adrenaline, the crowd are delirious. His head must be buzzing something crazy. He got up early. I don't know if Ramirez's corner was trying to complain that he was hit on the clinch, but he certainly wasn't. It was a great shot. Taylor pushed him off, made the space and landed. Taylor made good use of the forearm in the infighting, and you need to against the Mexicans. Of course you do. Ramirez was saved by the bell. I think Taylor should have steamed straight into him at the start of the eighth, but he didn't. Ramirez still didn't have his legs about him. Taylor is now controlling the fight from long range and close. Doesn't matter. Ramirez showing tremendous heart though. Tremendous heart. Taylor keeping his head. Still got a nice bounce in his step. Not rushing in or charging in. Didn't finish the fight, but he was bullying Ramirez around the ring. Ramirez was still coming back with hooks to the body. Excellent round. In fact, by the end of the eighth, it looked like Ramirez had fully recovered. And perhaps Josh Taylor was feeling the pace. Ramirez came back hard in the ninth. It wasn't clean. It wasn't polished or anything like that. But in terms of industry, he had a case of winning that. He had a case of winning it. 10th, tough pace. Ramirez, resilient guy. They're both throwing little short body shots in there. Ramirez found a 1-2 late in the round that drove Taylor back and had him on defense, and you could argue that he's won 2 rounds on the bounce now. Taylor perhaps looking for one big shot a little too much now after having that success in the 6th and 7th. Taylor missing quite a lot of shots right now. I actually believe Ramirez would have a better chance in a rematch, knowing what he has to do now. Use his jab more for a start, working his footwork a bit better. Because the fact that he's came through them 2 big shots and isn't knocked out and is actually forcing the pace and arguably won 3 rounds on the bounce, 2 to go, he's a really good fighter. He's a very good fighter. I know a lot of people are going to give Ben Davison credit, but let's face it, Josh Taylor was an excellent fighter way before Ben Davison got him. The 11th round was tight, like Taylor done well at the start, but when Jose started getting to the body and wanted to war with Taylor, Taylor broke the exchanges off and clinched and held, and his work wasn't effective in the late part of the round. Hard one to score. Robert Garcia, last round, he says, don't allow in space. Get that right hand off. Taylor really should be holding on. That's what he should be doing, because these attacks are savage. Not all the punches are landing clean, but the machismo, wanting the grandstand finish to punctuate the win. He's standing toe-to-toe with Ramirez, and it's Ramirez who really needs the knockout. I mean, Taylor's got 2 10-8s bagged. Not much clean work in the 12th. Looked like Taylor was looking at the clock with about 20 seconds to go. His gas tank looks almost on E. He's bobbing and weaving to avoid the attacks. He really should be tying up and moving. But he gets through the round. Score it which way you want to score it. Hard one to score. I have a few swing rounds. Now, I've got Taylor nicking it 114, 113, or 113, 113, a draw. Wouldn't have been out of line for me, but I'd give it to Taylor. Taylor just scraped home. I know some people are going to go over the top and say, oh, he clearly outboxed him, beat you, don't know what. Yeah, that's okay, fair enough. I don't agree. But he won. Well done, Josh Taylor. Undisputed world champion. Good stuff. He pulled out the heavy artillery when he needed to. And in fights at this level, that's what you have to do. This is what you have to do. And he produced. The margins between success and failure at this level can be extremely tight. And that's how I saw the fight yesterday.